was that just for you guys so you fit it all in? You did a really nice job. I'd like to welcome you to tonight's viewing of It's a Wonderful Life. My name's Karen and I'm going to be your host for tonight. You're a really good-looking crowd, better than the other groups. So once again, Christmas is on our doorstep, which means busy, money, frantic, getting the Christmas tree out of the garage and assembling thoughts of what to buy, what to cook. Will it be too hot to cook a roast? Or should I do salads on the day? But then there's Uncle Bob who likes to have a hot roast. You know, all those things. Who's got an Uncle Bob? No one's got an Uncle Bob. My husband does and he didn't put his hand up. Christmas can be beautiful, messy, painful, exhausting, and the lead-up tips those scales in very unfavourably, doesn't it, girls? Yeah. So our story today will help us rethink the wonder and the beauty of Christmas. Sit back, like you're doing it well. Relax and enjoy, and to help us get into the mood, we welcome Josh, T, Cassie, Anna, Teen, Rosemary, Sandra and David to the stage to kick off the evening with It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, where the kids jingle belling and everyone's telling you be of good cheer. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the happiest season of all, with those holiday greetings and great happy meetings when friends come to call. It's the happiest season of all. There'll be parties for hosting, marshmallows for toasting, and caroling out in the snow. There'll be scary ghost stories and tales of the glories of Christmases long, long ago. It's the most wonderful time of the year. There'll be much mistletoeing and hearts will be glowing when loved ones are near. It's the most wonderful time. Yes, the most wonderful time. It's the most wonderful time of the year. And now, would you join with us as we sing together, Joy to the World? The words will be on the screen. Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room. And heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing. Joy to the world.
Thank you, guys. You're looking great tonight. Our next artist is a spoken word poet and Melbourne's 2015 Poetry Slam champion. A man of many other talents, John has also authored a book called If the World Were Upside Down, a book centering on hope, identity and wonder. John's books are on sale in the Winter Wonderland out this way during intermission, and it could be a really good Christmas gift idea. But tonight he brings to us an original poem called It's Christmas Time. Please enjoy the wordsmithing and storytelling of this gentle giant, John Inglaces.
Good evening. It's Christmas time. It's Christmas time. It's Christmas time and Bing Crosby is on the radio singing about Christmas snow. And for one day, one glorious day, the shops cease their screaming. And the neighbours go from their quiet, cold, usual selves to mildly warm and friendly with a shy smile and a gentle wave. It's like magic, and it's happening. It's Christmas time, and the chicken is roasting, and the potatoes are being baked, and the gravy is being stirred in, and fresh, crusty bread is being cut thick and buttered all the way to the edges. And the table is being set. We pull out the fancy cutlery and set the table with the best we can supply. Shake the dust off the ornaments, set the long candles, re-glue the gifts back into the wise man's hands. I have to say it. It's a strange way to mark off time. To place a tree in the middle of a living room and adorn this prickly pine with all the colour that we can find. The angel which I made when I was little takes pride of place in the centre of the tree. It's dangled precariously, it is painted silver, and is made entirely out of pasta. Tubular rigatoni body, macaroni arms, Cappelletti smile and halo, and those little bow ties for the wings. How this little fragile thing has lasted all these years, I will never know. It's Christmas time, and the doorbell keeps ringing, and every time you open it, someone you love is there to greet you. How is that even possible? And they shake off the weather and they step across the threshold, and they brought something for you. And it looks shiny, and it smells delicious, and it feels weighty. It's Christmas time, and this is when home is like home. The kids are running laps in the living room, dodging the grip of adult hands like rabbits running around a veggie patch. And just like every other year, my uncle gives us yet another tin of butter biscuits. I think he's bought them in bulk and has them stowed away in some secret pantry. My favourite are shaped like a pretzel. They'll be the first to go because they have the most sugar on them. Children know these things. It's Christmas time, and for at least one day, we live like we are in abundance. Even if we are not. Join the tables together, pull back the chairs. We always make room for more. Even if there is not, there is always room for more. So the lights sparkle, and the laughter grows, and the conversations swell, and the carols play, and the voices are raised, and the newborn is praised, and the noise is joy, and something is burning. It's Christmas time, and the chicken is on fire, and the potatoes are not helping. And my grandma is telling stories, and my grandpa is talking politics, and isn't that always the way? So but another year has come and gone. There's wrapping everywhere. The house is a mess, but give thanks. Yes, give thanks. Scrape off the burnt bits and serve one another. We made it. Yes, we made it. Mind you, we will not always agree with each other. Years on, and there still remains the same conversations that were less than ideal to be having around this table that really could have been saved for another time, but for better or worse, we are going there, and for better or worse, we are here together as family. My mother sheds a proud tear to see everybody seated and fed. It's Christmas time, and the dishes pile high, and the stomachs stretch. And after the songs vanish into the air, and all the in-laws have been thanked, and all the parents have been hugged, and the tide recedes and the silence settles in, we survey the wreckage. Oh boy. And at my most cynical, I probably ask, why do we do this? It seems so impractical. My bank account is screaming. The rat race is just waiting for me still. How long may we keep this mad animation suspended? How do we show the people that are special to us, that they are special to us? How do we do this? Remember. How do I do this right? Remember. In all the brimming and the boiling over, this day anchors into the deep of me. We are marking off the time like heights against the door frame. Reread my father's handwritten cards. Replay all the laughter. Hold these gifts. Be thankful. Yes, it's just a scarf, but it was hand knitted. Yes, it's just a meal, but it's what you did with it. Yes, it's just a pair of socks, but I probably needed a new pair. Yes, it's just a picture, but you drew it of us, and you used every colour in the set. We hold on to the good bits, scrape off the burnt bits. It's Christmas time. It's messy, and it's noisy, and we crash into each other like a tide against one another. This day is a converging of all of the waves. It is a confluence of young and old. We receive each other in all of our scurf and scurry, and my shoreline does not feel the same as before. I have been shifted. I have trodden and I have been tread upon. It's Christmas time. It's costly, but it's lovely. So much is given because so much has been given. In this time, in this place, in this life, hasn't this all been so terribly wonderful? We are tired, full. We are sorry, grateful. We are striving, freedom. We are empty, abundance. We are exhausted, delight. We are clumsy, dancing. We tumble through this thing together, and I would not miss it for the world. So, wrap your hearts in paper. Write love into every card. Seal it in every envelope. Engrave hope into every embrace. Hang your memories like ornaments you do not wish to break. It seems so quaint, so unreasonable, like an angel made from pasta. But joy is not a thing which can be seen unless it is dangled precariously. And all of this is the least we can do, to mark off the season and give thanks and say, yes, I've been blessed. It's Christmas time, and this time would not be the same without you. And I would not be the same without you. Thank you.
This next song follows so beautifully on from what John wrote. So I'd like to invite the ensemble to come back to the stage. Gorgeous girls. And tonight they're going to sing for us What a Wonderful World, with the backdrop of some beautiful photos as well. Enjoy.
Wonderful world.
invite you now to join us on a nostalgic journey back in time to 1946, where radio plays were a leading form of entertainment, and they used dialogue, music, and sound effects to tell the story. Sometimes they would have a live audience, and that's where you come in. You are our studio audience, and you not only get to see the action, but at times become part of the soundtrack. So tonight, booze? You can do better than that. I'm the villain. Yeah. Clapping. And laughter are most welcome. You did that really well. It was not uncommon to see one actor to play several characters, as you will see tonight. To help you keep up with the characters that an actor is playing, you will need to watch out for the change of voice, their prop, hat or coat, and if you listen to the music, it transitions from one scene to the next. Now, as I have my script here tonight, so the actors in a radio play had their scripts as well, so it just gave me license to have mine, okay? So don't give me a hard time about it, okay? Without further ado, I would like to welcome our keyboard player, David Ellis. And our sound effects men, Ivan and Isaac Zeskus. But please, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, give a warm welcome to our cast for It's a Wonderful Life.
Welcome and thank you for being here tonight. In a few moments, we'll be helping our fine cast to bring a wonderful story to the airwaves, and we need you good people to help us create the right atmosphere for all our listeners out there in Radio Land. And can I ask you to pay attention to the on-air sign, and when we go live, if you could refrain from coughing, then that would be appreciated. Mobile phones have not been invented yet, so I'm sure that none will ring during this broadcast. When we need you to applaud, I will do this. And please enter in enthusiastically because we are live in 5, 4, 3.
Live from New York to 145 stations around the nation, this is Lux Presents Hollywood. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Lever Brothers Company, makers of Lux Toilet Soap, bring you Lux Radio Theater. Tonight we perform for you a real feel-good heart warmer, perfect for this Christmas season. It's a Wonderful Life, which was nominated for several movie awards in 1946. We begin our story in the little town of Bedford Falls, New York, where several people from the town are praying for their dear friend, a typical American named George Bailey.
Dear God, please look over my husband, George.
George is a good boy. You know that. My son has always gone out of his way to give others a hand. Now it's him who needs the help.
Help my big brother George. He's done so much for all of us. More for me than I can ever remember.
I remember all the times he would stay late after work and not ask a cent. The world needs more like George Bailey.
George never thinks about himself. I wouldn't have a roof over my head if it wasn't for him.
If it wasn't for his, I would have given up long ago. All I think about is myself. I must have taken the last cent he had.
The voices carry heavenward. And Josephine, the superintendent of angels, summons Clarence, an apprentice angel.
Are you sent for me, miss?
Yes, Clarence. A man down on Earth needs our help.
Oh, splendid. Is he sick?
No, worse, discouraged. At exactly 10:45 p.m. tonight, Earth time, that man will be thinking seriously of throwing away God's greatest gift.
Oh, his life? Well, I've only 30 minutes to dress. What are they wearing down there these days?
You will spend that half hour getting acquainted with George Bailey.
Miss, if I do good with George, might I perhaps earn my wings? It's been over 200 years and people are beginning to talk.
You do a good job with George Bailey and we'll see about your wings.
Oh, well, thank you very much, miss.
If you're going to help George, you'll want to know a little something about him. Look, see the town?
Well, yes, a group of young boys and they're sledding down the snow and onto the ice. Yippee! Who's that?
That's George Bailey when he was 12, back in 1919. Something happens here you'll have to remember later on.
Here comes the scare baby, my kid brother, Harry Bailey.
I'm not scared.
Help!
Harry's fallen through the ice.
I'm coming, Harry. Make a chain, guys.
His brother fell through the ice and George saved him.
Yes, but that icy water gave George a bad ear. It was weeks before he could return to his after-school job at Old Man Gower's drugstore.
It's me, Mr. Gower, George Bailey.
You're late.
2 cents worth of shoelaces, Violet?
Oh, please, Georgie. Oh, I like him.
You like every boy.
What's wrong with that?
Here you are.
Bye, Georgie. See you later, Mary.
Have you made up your mind yet, Mary?
I'll take chocolate.
With coconuts?
Oh, I don't like coconuts.
You don't like coconuts? Say, Brainless, do you know where coconuts come from? From, look here, Tahiti, Fiji Islands, and the Coral Sea.
Is that a new magazine? I never saw it before.
Oh, well, of course you never. Only us explorers can get it. I've been nominated for membership of the National Geographic Society. Let me get your ice cream.
Is that the E you can't hear on? George Bailey, I love you till the day I die.
I'm going exploring someday. Just you wait and see.
George, you're not paid to be a canary.
Bye, George.
Goodbye, Mary.
What was that piece of paper George just picked up?
It's a telegram for Mr. Gower. He found out this morning that his son died of influenza, and he spent the afternoon drowning his grief in whiskey.
Mr. Gower, do you need anything?
No.
Oh, I'll get them, sir.
Take those capsules over to Mrs. Blaine's.
They have the diphtheria there, haven't they?
Get going.
Oh, yes, sir. Oh. Mr. Gower, that bottle you used, you put something wrong in those capsules.
Who do you think you're talking to?
Ah, you're hurting my sore ear.
Did you hear what I said? I said get out of here.
Mr. Gower, you don't know what you're doing. You put something wrong in those capsules. I know you got the telegram and you're upset, but look at the bottle you used. It's poison.
Poison?
Don't hit my sore ear again.
Oh, poison. Oh, George.
I just wanted to make sure, Mr. Gower. I won't tell anyone. I won't tell Soul Hope to die. I won't. did he ever tell anyone about those pills?
Not a soul.
Well, did he ever marry the girl? Oh, did he ever go exploring?
We'll get there soon enough, Clarence. George grew up and wanted to go to university, but there just wasn't the money. So he worked 4 years for the Building and Loan Association.
The building and what?
George's father had the building and loan business along with George's aunt, Betty.
George, what's the combination to the safe?
We wrote it down so you wouldn't forget it.
Oh, that's right. Where?
Who's that?
That's Henry F. Potter, the richest and meanest man in all the county.
Peter, Potter's here.
Mr. Bailey, Mr. Bailey, Miss Bailey. There's nothing quite so loathsome as a family business. Now, Peter, you know what I'm here for. I'm on a very tight schedule. A family to evict at 3.
Okay then, Mr. Potter. But here's the thing. I just need a little bit more time. I'll dig up that 5,000 somehow.
Have you put any pressure on those people of yours to pay their mortgages?
Times are hard, Mr. Potter. A lot of people, they're out of work.
Then foreclose.
Oh, I can't do that, Mr. Potter. These people, they have children.
What are you running? A business or a charity ward?
Oh, Mr. Potter, what makes you such a hard-skulled character anyhow? You have no family, no children. You can't begin to spend all that money you've got.
So I suppose I should give it to miserable failures like you and that idiot sister of yours to spend for me?
Hey, you can't call my father a failure.
It's all right, son.
Hey, don't let him say that about you, Pop.
It's all right.
What kind of business are you running here?
George worked and saved enough to see him through university, but first he was going to see Europe. Old man Gower surprised him with the gift of a great big suitcase. On his way home from the store, George ran into his friends, Ernie, the cab driver, and Bert, the cop.
Hey, Ernie.
Hi, George.
Hi, Bert.
Hey, George, what's the suitcase for?
Well, I'm a rich tourist today. How about giving me a ride home in style?
Sure thing, Your Highness. Hop in the cab. And for the carriage trade, I put on my hat.
Good afternoon, Mr. Bailey. It looks like you're ready to get out of here.
Hello, Violet. You look good. That's some dress.
Oh, this old thing? Why, I only wear it when I don't care how I look. See you later.
Want to come along, Bert? We'll show you the town.
No thanks. Think I'll go home and see what the wife's doing.
Family man.
That evening, George had dinner with his father.
Well, that's it.
Oh boy, my last supper at the Bailey boarding house.
We're sure gonna miss you, George. I wish I could send your brother Harry to college with you.
Hey, we've got it all figured out. Harry'll take my job at the Building of Loan for 4 years, and then he'll go.
He's quite young for that job, though.
Hey, no younger than I was.
You were born old, George. I suppose you haven't given any thought to what you're gonna do after you get out of college.
Oh, what we've always talked about. Building things, design new buildings, plan modern cities.
That's It's just a hope, George. You wouldn't consider coming back to the building alone, would you?
No, I couldn't face being cooped up for the rest of my life in that shabby little office. I'm sorry, Pop. I didn't mean that remark, but this business of spending all your life trying to figure out how to save 3 cents on a length of pipe, I'd go crazy. I want to do something big and important.
You know, George, in some small way, I believe we are doing something important. Is it so much for a man to want a roof, some walls, and a fireplace? And we're helping him get those things in that shabby little office.
Yeah, I know, Dad, but most of my friends have already finished college. I feel like if I didn't get out, I'd go bust.
You're right, son. This town is no place to live if you're not willing to crawl to the bottom. Get your education. Get out of here.
You know, Pop, you ready for a shock? I think you're a pretty great guy. Say, maybe I'll go say goodbye to Main Street, last night in town at all.
Have a good night, son.
Hello, Georgie Porgy.
Oh, hello, Vi.
Where are you going?
Well, I'll probably end up at the library.
Don't you ever get tired of just reading about things?
Yeah. What are you doing tonight?
Why, not a thing, Georgie.
You game, Vi? You want to make a night of it?
Oh, I love it, Georgie. What'll we do?
Let's go out into the fields, take off our shoes, and walk in the grass.
Huh?
And then we can climb up Stuart Lake. Oh, it's beautiful there in the moonlight, and we can swim. And then we can climb Mount Bedford and smell the pines and watch the sunset against the peaks, and we'll stay up the whole night, and everyone will be talking. There'll be a terrific scandal.
Oh, George! Have you gone crazy? Walk in the grass in my bare feet? Why, it's 10 miles up there to Mount Bedford. You just think because you... Oh.
Okay, just forget about the whole thing.
Hey, huh? Forget about what, George?
Oh, nothing, Sam.
You remember Mary, don't you?
Hi, George.
Hi, Mary.
You wouldn't mind walking Mary home, would you?
Oh, of course not. If that's okay with you, Mary.
Fine by me.
Gee, great. Thanks. Hey, huh?
So, George walked Mary home, miss. Is that important?
I'll say it is, because even though Mary lived only 4 blocks away, it took them 2 hours to get there.
Oh, right.
Buffalo girls, won't you come out tonight? Come out tonight, come out tonight. Buffalo girls, won't you come out tonight? And dance by the light of the moon. Oh, gee whiz, hot dog. Oh, that was just like an organ.
Beautiful.
You know something? If it wasn't me talking, I'd say you're the prettiest girl in town.
Well, why don't you say it then?
I don't know. Maybe I will. Hey, look where we are.
Oh, the old Granville house.
Yeah, I've got to throw a rock.
Oh, no, don't. I love that old house.
Don't you know about deserted houses? You make a wish, then you throw a rock.
But, George, it's such a lovely old place. I wish I lived there.
I wouldn't live there if I were a ghost. Now watch this. Pretty good shot, huh? Broke a window.
So what's your wish, George?
Oh, not one wish, a whole hatful. I'm shaking the dust of this town. I'm gonna go and see the world. Italy, Greece, the Pantheon, the Colosseum, and then I'm coming back here, and I'm gonna go to college, and I'm gonna see what they know. And I'm gonna build airfields and skyscrapers 100 feet tall and buildings a mile long. And are you gonna throw a rock too? that was pretty good. Oh, what'd you wish for, Mary?
Oh no, if I tell you, it may not come true.
What do you want, Mary? Do you want the moon? All you gotta do is ask, and I'll throw a lasso around it, and I'll pull it right down here.
Okay, I'll take it. And then what?
And then you can swallow it and dissolve, and moonbeams will shoot out of your fingers and toes and out of the ends of the hair, and then, am I talking too much?
Yes! Why didn't you kiss her instead of talking her to death?
Hey, who's that?
Oh, it's old man Collins on his front porch.
Youth. Wasted on the wrong people.
Hey, mister, why don't you come down here and I'll show you some kissing that'll put hairs on your head?
George!
Aunt Betty?
George, get in the car quick. Your father's had a stroke.
I'm sorry, I've got to go, Mary.
George's father died that night, Clarence. So George couldn't go to Europe. Just as he was ready to leave for college in fall, the directors of the building and loan held a meeting. They were going to appoint a successor.
I want the board to know that George gave up his trip to Europe to help straighten things out here over the past few months, and it was greatly appreciated. I think that's all we'll need from you, George. I know you're anxious to make the train.
Yes, I have a taxi waiting downstairs.
Mr. Chairman! I'd like to get to my real purpose. I claim this institution is not necessary to this town. Therefore, Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to dissolve the building alone.
It is too soon after Peter Bailey's death to discuss chloroforming the building and loan. It is his faith and devotion that are responsible for this organization.
I'll go further than that. I'll say Peter Bailey was the building and loan.
Well, that's just fine, Potter, coming from you, considering that you drove him to his grave.
Peter Bailey was not a businessman. That's what killed him. He was a man of high ideals without common sense. And what does that get us but a discontented, lazy rabble instead of a thrifty working class? All because a few starry-eyed dreamers like Peter Bailey stir them up and fill their heads with a lot of impossible hooey. Now I say...
Now, just a minute, Mr. Potter. You're right. When you say that my father was no businessman, you know, why he and Aunt Betty started that building alone, I'll never know. But you can't say anything against his character. Why, in the 25 years since he and Aunt Betty started that thing, he never once thought of himself. But he did help a few people get out of your slums, Mr. Potter. And just remember that this rabble that you're talking about do most of the working and paying and living and dying in this community. Well, is it too much for them to work and play and live and die in a room, couple of decent rooms with a bath? My father didn't think so. People were human beings to him. But to you, a warped, frustrated old man, they're cattle. In my book, he died a much richer man than you'll ever be.
I'm not interested in your book.
Well, I've said too much. You're the board. You do what you want with this thing. But remember, this town needs this measly one-horse institution, if not to give people some place where they can go that's not crawling to Potter. Come on, Aunt Betty.
Say no man no hogwash. I want my motion.
Oh, they're just coming
Yeah, they're voting us down in there.
They're putting us out of business. So what? I can get another job. I'm only 52.
You're 58?
George, they voted Potter down.
Whoopee! We're still in business.
Under one condition. That you take your father's place, George.
I'm going to college. You know, Aunt Betty, you know, she's the one.
Oh, you can keep her on, that's all right.
I'm going to school. This is my last chance.
But they'll vote with Potter otherwise.
So, George Bailey never went to college?
That's right, Clarence. He gave his college money to his brother instead and waited 4 years for Harry to return and take over the building and loan. Then he could still see the world.
Oh.
There she blows. Hey, say, Aunt Betty, you know what the 3 greatest sounds in the world are?
Breakfast is served, lunch is served, dinner is served.
Anchor chains, plane motors, and train whistles. So, here's the professor now.
Well, look, isn't George Geographic Explorer Bailey? And Auntie Betty, you haven't changed a bit.
Oh, am I glad to see you.
Where's Mother?
Oh, she's at home cooking the fattened calf. Here, come on, let's go.
Oh, wait. Meet Ruth Dakin.
Ruth Dakin Bailey, if you don't mind.
Oh, what do you know? A wife.
I wired you had a surprise. Well, meet the wife.
Wow.
Congratulations, Harry. You know, why didn't you tell somebody? And, what's a pretty girl like you marrying this 2-headed brother of mine?
Oh, it's purely mercenary. My father offered him a job.
Oh, he gets you and a job. Harry's cut runneth over. Well, Ruth, come on, let's start ahead and leave the bags for the fellas.
All right.
George, about that job. I never said I'd take it. You've been holding down the fort here for 4 years now, and, well, I won't let you down.
And that night, the homecoming for Harry became his wedding party.
Oh,
Aunt Betty familiarized herself with the spirits.
all right.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, I feel so good I could spit in Potter's eye. I think I will. What do you say? Maybe I should go home. If you could just point me in the right direction.
Yeah, right down there.
Oh, that way? Okay, I'll build it alone, pal. See you later. I'm all right.
George!
Out here on the porch, Mother.
Well, how'd you like your new sister-in-law?
Oh, she's swell.
Looks like she'll keep Harry on his toes.
Yeah, keep him out of Bedford Falls anyway.
George, do you know Mary Hatch is back from school?
Yeah?
Nice girl, Mary. The kind who'll help you find all the answers.
Uh-huh.
Now give me one good reason why you shouldn't call
Oh,
her.
well, Sam Wainwright. Sam's crazy about her.
Well, she's not crazy about him.
How did you know that? Did she discuss it with you?
Besides, Sam is in New York and you are here in Bedford Falls.
And all is fair in love and war.
I don't know about war.
Well, all right, Mother. I think I'll go and find this girl and do some passionate necking.
Oh, George!
Oh, bye, Mrs. Bailey. Say, by the way, do you want me to get you something from the library?
The library, George. You go see Mary Hatch, you hear?
Hiya, George. Need a lift?
Oh, no, Ernie, I wouldn't want to rob you of a fare.
Oh, you wouldn't be robbing me of any fares, George. The taxi business is on the skids.
Oh, well, then it's just like the building and loan business. Hey, you want to swap?
Actually, George, I need to talk to you. I'm gonna have to turn the deed back to you.
The deed? The deed to your house? You've only been there 2 years, Ernie.
Yeah, but with the business being so bad, I can't afford the payments right now. Me and the missus will just have to move back in with her folks.
No, Ernie, no. I'll tell you what. Can you pay the interest?
The interest? Well, sure, but why would I?
Okay. So you keep the house, forget about the principal, for a while. You just, hitting a rough patch, that's all.
Gosh, George, I don't know how to thank you. This means so much.
Hey, hear that? You're back in business, Ernie.
I am? I am. Coming right up.
Attaboy, Ernie.
Oh, hello, George.
Hello, Mary. I just happened to be passing by.
Oh, your mother phoned and said you're on the way.
My mother called you. How did she know? I just went for a walk and happened to be passing by. When did you get back?
Oh, Tuesday. Would you like to come in?
Well, I guess since I'm here. Where did you get that dress?
Oh, do you like it?
It's all right. I thought you were going back to New York with Sam and the rest of them.
Oh, well, I worked there a couple of vacations, but I don't know. I guess I was homesick.
Homesick for Bedford Falls?
Yeah, and for my family and, well, everything.
I still can't understand it, though. I didn't tell anyone I was coming here.
Oh, would you rather leave?
Oh, no, I don't want to be rude.
Oh, it was nice about Harry and Ruth, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, that's all right.
Don't you like her?
Oh, well, of course I like her. She's a peach.
It's just marriage in general you're not enthusiastic about?
No, marriage is okay for Harry and Sam and you.
Mary, who are you talking to? It's George Bailey, Mother. George Bailey? What does he want? I don't know. What do you want, George?
Me? Not a thing. I just came here to get warm.
He's making passionate love to me, Mother.
Oh, well, you tell him to go right back home. Sam Wainwright promised to call you from New York tonight, didn't he?
Your mother needn't. I didn't come here to her.
Well, what did you come here for?
You're supposed to be the one with all the answers. You tell me.
Why don't you just go home?
Well, that's where I'm going.
Mary! Telephone! It's Sam!
I'll get it. Hee-haw. Hello, Sam. How are you?
Hee-haw! Great! Gee, it's good to hear your voice again.
Well, that's awfully sweet of you, Sam. Well, there's an old friend of yours here, George Bailey.
You mean old Mossback George? Hee-haw! Put him on!
Wait a minute. I'll call him. George!
He doesn't want to speak to George!
He asked for him, George. Sam wants to speak to you.
Hello, Sam.
Hey, fine pal you are. What are you trying to do? Steal my girl?
Nobody's trying to steal your girl.
Tell Mary to get on the extension. I want to talk to the both of you.
Mother's on the extension.
I am not!
We can both hear you. George, move your head a little closer. There. That's better. We're listening, Sam.
I have a big deal coming up that's gonna make us all rich. George, remember that night at Martini's bar when you were telling me about making plastics out of soybeans?
Soybeans.
Yeah, well, my father, he's checked into it, and he wants to build a factory outside of Rochester.
Oh, why Rochester?
Well, can you think of anywhere better?
Well, why not right here in Bedford Falls? Hey, you remember that old tool and machinery works? Tell your father he can get it for a song, and all the labor he wants too. Half the town was thrown out of work when that place closed down.
That's so. Gee, great. Thanks. Now, George, here's the point. I want to offer you a job. That is, if you're not still married to that old broken down building and loan. Oh, Mary,
I'm here.
you tell that man that I'm giving him the chance of a lifetime.
He says it's the chance of a lifetime.
Give me that phone. Now you listen to me, Mary. I don't want any plastics, and I don't want any job, and I don't want to get married ever to anyone. Can you understand that? I want to do what I want to do, and you're not going to, oh, Mary. Oh, Mary.
George.
I love you.
George. I love you too.
George and Mary were married. And following the wedding and reception, George's old pal, Ernie, the cab driver, drove the happy couple to the train station.
Where you two off to on this here now honeymoon?
Oh, we're gonna shoot for the works. A week in New York, then Bermuda. The highest hotels, the oldest champagne, the richest caviar, the hottest music, and the prettiest wife.
Here's the kitty, Ernie, $2,000. I feel like a bootlegger's wife.
Finally getting out of Bedford Falls, huh? Then what?
Oh, well, then what, honey?
After that, who cares?
Hey, George, there's something funny going on over there. Look over there, over by the bank. It looks like a run.
Hey, pull over for a minute, will you, Ernie?
Oh, George, let's not stop. Please, let's go straight to the station. George, don't go. Ernie, stop him.
Just wait a minute. I better see what it is. I'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of Act 1 of It's a Wonderful Life. We'll return to our story in just a few moments, but first is a little Java Jive to take us to the interval.
I love coffee, I love tea, I love a job and it loves me. Coffee and tea and a jobber and me. A cup, a cup, a cup, a cup, a cup. Boy, I love coffee, sweet and hot. Whoops, Mr. Motto, I'm a coffee pot. Shoot me the pot and pour me a shot. A cup, a cup, a cup, a cup, a cup. Yeah.
Coffee will now be served in the foyer. Please enjoy our winter wonderland. You have 15 minutes. I'll be waiting.